Hey there, Aqualusters. It's been 4 months since I replaced the intake guard on my Fluval AC50. I predicted that it would clog, and if you go look at the very first video, I bring it up that the filter intake guard was too coarse. I switched to a much more coarse Aquarium Co-op one. It's been 4 months. I haven't touched it since, and now the flow is starting to cut down. We're going to pull it off. If flow increases, we know it's the intake filter that's clogged. Let's see how it goes. If I pull off this intake sponge and the flow goes up, then it is the intake sponge. Let's see. It didn't really increase that much, and that sponge really doesn't look that bad. It didn't really release much into the water there. As you see, I have a little deflector here because I like the sideways flow. I don't want it going straight down in the tank. But yeah, that filter's pretty full. So let's clean this thing out and go from there. Oh, that's nasty. Purigen doing its job. Oh yeah. That sponge is really dirty. I don't want to drip that. So I'm going to do a quick water change and see how this filter cleaning goes, and that should improve my flow. And definitely is a sign that that intake guard is working much better, because the intake guard didn't clog at all. It's actually the filter, which isn't unrealistic. That filter's been on this tank unserviced for 3 months now. I only cleaned it last time in the video, the 30 days after video, where the intake guard cleaned, and I just cleaned it while I was there. I wanted to see how far I could push this before I had an issue. And that's how to start your siphon without sucking on it. I love floating plants and I hate them in the same. I don't gravel vac the bottom. I just kind of sweep over the surface, try and catch anything that's loose and dirty. Oh, pulled up a plant. So yep, it was the filter, definitely clogged. That's pretty dirty. So I'm gonna wring this out. Just give it a bunch of squeezes. You know, pretty good. Next is the media, and I just give that a good shake in the water. Just want to kind of get anything that's loose in there off. There you go. And lastly is the Purigen bag, which once it's brown and you don't see any white left in the Purigen, then you know it's exhausted. And then at this point you clean it with a bleach and water solution, and then use a dechlorinator to remove all the bleach, and then you can reuse it. I have extra bags, so I'm just going to swap that out for a new one. And if you're ever curious what Purigen does, that's what Purigen does for you. That took that all out of the water. And this is the best part, filling it. My old trick, we're going to take this plastic placemat, we're going to put it right on top there so we don't wreck the whole tank when we go to fill it. I have my water already prepped, ready to go, and I use it by a pump, and I pump it right back in full steam. So if you wanted to pour in, that's fine too. Let's say you don't have a pump or you're not set up like that, you could pour right in. I do it for topping off my tanks. It's definitely much better. The fish aren't disturbed by it. Nobody's getting slammed down by the water, and it fills the tank pretty fast. One thing to keep in mind when you're working on your tank is always keep a good towel around. And I put a towel down on the floor because inevitably I'm going to spill something and I'm going to just get yelled at for it. So now you do have to fill your filter back up with water. When you drained it down, it siphoned down the water. So I just spray a little water in there, make sure it's full, and you're ready to start it again. Almost forgot to put my intake guard back on, which I didn't clean. Couple of squeezes in the water, it's ready to go. I really should have taken this intake pipe off and cleaned it, but another day. There we go. Back to full flow, and everything is looking good like it should. Put my redirect back on here. You see I get some holes cut in the front, so I get a little forward flow, but knocks it down to a nice sideways flow. Don't forget to fertilize. It's that easy. So the intake guard is from Aquarium Co-op. I'll drop a link below in the comments. And that's the medium size one I use for the AC50. On the smaller filters, I definitely would recommend still using this one. It'll fit well, and it's still a nice sizable intake guard. The small one can be a little small, and the large one I use in my canister filter, and they're not joking, it's large. So see what's best for you. If you really liked this video and you found it helpful, hit that like and subscribe. Really helps out with the video and getting it out to others. That's it, Aqualusters. I hope you have a great day and get your arms wet.